I'm a volunteer with the American Cancer Society
Yes,
Cancer
sir.
Action Network. In 2009, we came out in support of the healthcare reform law.
Yes, sir.
If it's repealed, what will you do to make cancer insurance coverage available affordable for people who have cancer or pre-existing conditions?
Yes, sir. There are a number of things that can happen. Let me share with you what we have done in my home state. And again, this gets back to the 10th Amendment, and it gets back to your local states being engaged with being able to deal with health care better than a federal government one-size-fits-all. We passed a $3 billion program in Texas in 2007 to help find the cures for cancer. We put $300 million a year for the next 10 years, from 2008 forward, to find the cures for cancer. You know, we're blessed to have MD Anderson Cancer Center, but we're recruiting people from all over the world now because we've made that commitment to find the cures for cancer. As a matter of fact, just 2 weeks ago, it was announced that the Institute for Applied Cancer Science was relocating from Harvard to Houston, Texas at MD Anderson. So that's great competition. And so competition between the states is very important in part of this scenario that I'm laying out for you. And secondly, you allow for the states to deal with Medicaid directly, with no strings attached from Washington, D.C. Block granting with no strings. I feel very comfortable that we can save 20 to 25% of the total cost if we don't have Washington with their one-size-fits-all mentality telling us how to deliver the health care to the poor in Texas. And then other ideas. There is no reason in the world why you can't buy insurance across the river. I mean, the prohibition of allowing insurance to be sold over state lines needs to be done away with. And if that requires a federal law, then I'm fine with that. But you know, I think the states maybe can work it out themselves. I don't know, but you should be that competition will help drive down the cost of insurance. Because what I'm interested in is being able to make insurance affordable, not forcing you to buy it. And that's what Obamacare does. It's unconstitutional for one thing. I'm not a lawyer, but I've made enough laws and signed enough laws to understand this fairly well. The idea that the federal government can force you to buy a private product, if they can do that on health insurance, then they can do that on an automobile, that they own a company, we own a company. So I think you have some flexibility with the states to create programs, but here's, to get just to the heart of this, is about the economy. And if we don't have a environment where entrepreneurs feel comfortable they can risk their capital, they're not going to be overtaxed, they're not going to be overregulated. And I would just ask you to go to rickperry.org. I've laid out 3 clear plans on how to get America working, but also the flat tax, the corporate tax of 20%, on the spending side, how to balance our budget, keeping our budget at 18% of the gross domestic product, capping it at that. And there's 2 other things that I want to share with you that I think are really important to give Americans confidence that they can bring manufacturing back into this country, that they can risk their capital, they can expand their businesses, they can go hire the people that they need to hire, and to drive this economy. Our economy will take off like a rocket. But one thing we have to do as a people, and I'll travel all across this country if this is what's required, to pass a balanced budget amendment to the United States Constitution. If we don't do that, we will never get control of that spending. And the other thing is kind of a unique idea, but after you think about it a bit, the more you think about it, the more you're going to like it. You may like it right off the bat. And that is to make the United States Congress a part-time Congress. cut their salaries, cut their staffs, cut the amount of time they stay in Washington, D.C., send them back to their districts to have a regular job and live under the laws that they pass. And the reason I know that will work, and the reason I know that that is really a sensible approach, is that 13th largest economy in the world, their legislature only meets for 140 days every other year. Our legislators are paid $600 a month. And they come in January and they are gone by June every other year. And they get our budget done, and we have a balanced budget amendment to our Constitution, so we can't kick the can down the road. We have to balance our budget. And we get all the laws passed, all the statutes that need to be changed in that basically 5-month period of time. Then they go home. If we have to come back in for a special session, the governor can do that, and the president should have the ability to do that with Congress. But think about a balanced budget amendment to the United States Constitution and a part-time Congress that actually came in, got their work done, required them to do their budget work. I mean, how long has it been since they've even passed a budget in Washington? We've been working on a continuing resolution for I don't know how long. And now, I mean, anyway.